Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Algebra 2. My name is Don Rogers, and I will be going over some things for you to know in this class. We change this to student view so you can actually see what your child sees. All right, so guide you through the Canvas page first, just so you know there's important links at the top of the page. We have our syllabus, which we will be going over in a minute, but when you click on that, it downloads it. So you can have a copy of that if you wish. It has office hour links. So if you click on that, it takes you to some office hours, and these are actually Zoom links. Here's the password if you need one to get in. Usually don't need one, but if you do, it's there. These are scheduled times where students can get help. Since district policy says we can't Zoom one-on-one with students, during these office hours, I am paired up with another teacher, so we make sure there's always 3 of us online at any given time to meet, so we can meet that policy. Students can come get help during any of them, not just student ones. They can come during the family ones. The family ones are there in case parents need to ask how their kid is doing or something like that, or have a question that we can answer. You're more than welcome to come during those times, or we can schedule different times if none of these are available in your schedule. We also have some links under teacher resources for students. Specifically, the most useful things for this class, there's a graphing calculator, scientific calculator, a couple good math sites that I've used in the past and had students use that have searchable databases by topic. So if you type in what you're trying to do in math, you can see examples and videos and stuff like that. And then some printable graph paper in case you didn't get a chance to pick some up or don't have any. It'll save you from making your own old school. So that's what's going on, at least as far as that link there. Our weekly schedule will always look the same. We're going to have what's going on in class, what's due at any particular point in time, and then what we're working on. So this week is the last week, at least the week that I'm recording this, is the last week that we have working on this project that we've been working on for the last two or three weeks, making a picture with line segments. So that's what their homework is. Wednesdays, there are no scheduled classes or Zooms, but you can schedule a Zoom with me if you need some independent help, but it's mostly an independent work day where students can get things done throughout the week, from the week. And please make sure to log into Canvas for attendance purposes. And sometimes there will be some added instructions for people. This particular week, we have some middle school students taking iReady testing. And so this would be a good day to do that. And then we have our Thursday, Friday class, depending on which period they're in. Once again, this finished project, this is due Monday. So as you're looking at curriculum night, this was turned in on Monday, hopefully. So you can ask about that or look on Canvas to see if they've turned it in. There's a link to last week's schedule here. Next week's schedule isn't up at this moment in time. So at some point that link will start working. We have a Zoom link, which is the same that I include here. Looks a little different than some classes because I have 3 different Zoom classes, 3 different periods of this class. And so each one is for a specific time. So make sure that if they're logging in, and everyone's done it so far, so I don't think it should be an issue, but use the appropriate link for that. And we have links at the bottom also to parent and school resources, which right now are the same. Links you to the school webpage, where we have announcements for the whole school. We have access to everything that the district has as well. So you can look there for those on that page. And then contact information is an email link that will be sent directly to my school email where I can get back to you. And unfortunately, that's the only way to contact me right now. You can call the school, they can get me a message, but email while we're doing online is our only method of communication right now. I said earlier we'd come back and look at the syllabus, so we'll go ahead and take a look at that right now. Once again, you can click on this link for the syllabus and it will come up, but I have to share that correct page or else you won't be able to see anything. So Here's our syllabus. At the top, it has contact information. Here's the phone number for the school, but once again, the best way of getting in touch with me is email. I will respond usually that school day, if not then the next school day. Almost guaranteed. I can't remember a time where I haven't gotten back to people the next school day, but that is my goal. Like I said, I try to get them that day. That's important to me. Basically, Algebra 2 is a continuation of Algebra 1. In Algebra 1, we focused on linear, quadratic, and exponential functions. Algebra 2, we definitely go deeper into those, but we also add in rational, polynomial, and radical expressions. So those types of functions are also added in now, in addition to, like the project we're working on now is using linear equations. That's kind of a review thing right now, get people back to thinking about math. But we're also going to talk this year about the complex number system, our fun imaginary numbers, which my wife always teases me about. But we do actually have imaginary numbers, and we'll touch on them this year. Talk about polynomials and those different things, both graphing, writing equations, things like that. We'll go deeper into a formal math concept of functions and talk about what they are and how they relate to math and why they're important. And then deal with some statistics and probability if we have time at the end. This year online, I know we're not going to get to everything on this syllabus. This is in a normal year, and this year is definitely not normal. We have less time with students teaching, and we have the difficulty of online learning in general. So we will not get done with everything on this. We're talking about it and looking at things that are the most important for them to move on to pre-calculus next year. So like I say, we will do things within this list. We're not totally sure on everything that's going to happen from the list yet, though. We're working on it. Hopefully we'll be back in school soon so we can do that in-person learning. A little bit about me and some things that I believe about math. I've been teaching math for 29 years, and I truly believe these 4 things about learning math. In my 29 years of teaching, I have never been able to find anybody that can't do math. There's no math gene that gets passed on from generation to generation, and some people can do it, some people can't. Math is an innate ability that everybody can do, just like language. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody likes it the same or everybody does it at the same speed, but everybody can do it. And I firmly believe that. So my job is to help you figure out how you learn it best and then present it in that way so that you can understand it. It's not a spectator sport, though. It's a skill. Math is a skill. And the only way to get better at a skill is to practice that skill. I wish it was some other way, but you have to get better at the skill by doing it. Otherwise, we'd all be playing in the NBA or NFL making millions of dollars. Because I've watched a lot of sports, but I've not gotten good enough to actually get that, do that well in the sport. You have to practice it. Learning math is ongoing. You'll never reach the end of math knowledge. There's always more to learn, and it's always being applied in new ways. I learn new math all the time, and I have multiple degrees in math, and I've been teaching it for 29 years, and I still haven't gotten to the end. I'm learning new things about math all the time. I'm subscribed to a number of periodicals and look at different things and learn different things about problems that I never even knew existed. So you will never get to the end of your math learning unless you choose to end it. And then stress and new learning go hand in hand. You're going to be stressed. You're going to be unsure of yourself because you're learning something new. If you knew all this stuff, you wouldn't need to take it. Like me taking an Algebra 2 class, I wouldn't be stressed at all because I know all the Algebra 2 stuff. But it's new for you. And when you learn new subjects, frustration is a natural part of learning. So know that you're going to be frustrated. I will help you through it. We'll work through it together and we will get to the other side. But you know, it's going to happen. So just expect that and know that it's going to happen. We're not doing the same old stuff that, you know, again and again and again and again. We're learning new things. All right. On the right side here is our Itech grading policy. It's the same as everybody else in the school. It's how our grades are computed. It's what shows up in Jump Rope. The biggest thing is especially if you're new to the school, it's no longer a point system, so you don't have to get more points. And as a teacher, I truly believe this is the better way of grading. Because when you ask me, what does my child need to do to improve their grade, instead of an answer from the past teachers like, oh, do better on assignment or do better on tests or turn in more assignments to get more points. Now I'm going to be able to give you specific information. Like, you really know how to graph rational equations, but you're having difficulty solving them. So I don't need you to do more rational graphing, but let's work on solving them so we can improve that particular standard score. I will be able to give you specific information and not just some general statement that went on in the past that didn't really mean anything and didn't help. So knowing what specifically students need work on, for me as a teacher, is a great help for extending their math knowledge and helping them feel more comfortable, all right? If you want more information about the grading, there's a video on the school website that talks about grading here and has some different scenarios and how to log into Jump Rope and all the different things that you need to go on to about grades. I will be sending grades home probably every couple weeks once we get going strong. Early on, grades fluctuate a lot because we don't have very many assignments and don't have very many standards that we're looking at. But after we get a few standards in, they'll be being sent home so you can keep up with the progress of your child. So that's Algebra 2 in a nutshell. If you have questions, please feel free to email me and I will get back to you with an answer that will help you, or we can schedule a Zoom time. But thanks for coming tonight.